Good day to Professor Dr. Muhammad Amy. So now I will introduce the 5 companies that our group have chosen. The first company will be the Sadabi Property Berhad. Sadabi Property Berhad was one of the companies that included in the list of FTSE Bursa Malaysia Mid-70 Index. Nowadays, this company have property and activity across the Asia Pacific area as well as the United Kingdom. Currently, this company have around 20,763 acres of land bank stretching across Malaysia. Next, IOI Property Group Berhad is one of the Malaysian major public listed company in the property sector, and it is also have been listed in FTSE Bursa Malaysia Mid-70 Index. This company have developed their property project in local and global. For example, it have built a sustainable township in Malaysia, Klang Valley, and also certain area in Johor, as well as property project in China and Singapore. Besides, UOA Development Berhad was successfully listed on the main market of Bursa Malaysia and become one of the Malaysia's biggest listed property development company. Their company key focus areas are on property development, property investment, construction, and also property management. Apart from that, SP Setia Berhad was a property company founded by Liu Ginseng, and this company was also listed in FTSE Bursa Malaysia Mid-70 Index. Therefore, SP Setia have developed various buildings in states such as Selangor, Penang, Johor, and Kota Kinabalu to strengthen their estate portfolio. Lastly, EcoWorld Development Group Berhad was one of the listed company on Bursa Malaysia, and the project type which can be developed by EcoWorld Development Group Berhad, including Green Business Park, Integrated Commercial Complex, Luxury High-Rise Apartment, and Township.
Now we come to mission and vision. SIMW Property Berhad has a mission of create a place that inspires, connects, and lasts for generations to come, for having the vision of becoming the leader in building sustainable communities. Furthermore, having prime as their core value, which consists of passion, respect and teamwork, integrity and accountability, makes it happen, along with entrepreneurial spirits. IOI Property Group Berhad takes the word trusted as their vision statement and mission of focusing on trusted as well to deliver, build confidence, innovate, conduct our business with integrity, empower our people, to safeguard our environment, lastly, to build sustainable communities. They also having 7 core values which include integrity, quality, innovation and creativity, commitment and passion, cost effectiveness, last 2 which is people first and teamwork. UOA Development Berhad does not employ a vision statement nor having a core value. Instead, they focus on their mission by to develop and invest in the highest quality properties, products and services, consistent with community, environmental and government requirements, and keeping in pace with our changing environment to constantly add value to what we do. SP Setia Berhad attains a very aspiring mission, which are to provide superior customer service and satisfy customer needs through a culture of excellence, moreover enhance shareholder value. In addition, becoming a caring and responsible employer, along with be mindful of our social responsibility. Besides that, you also have the vision of to be the best in all we do. Furthermore, keeping scripts as their value, which represent Setia work ethics, customer responsibility, integrity, professionalism, and finally, Team Setia. EcoWorld Development Group Berhad having mission ahead of its time, stating of they want to create world-class eco-living, moreover generate and initiate ideas that disrupt the status quo and inspire people by continuously raise the bar of excellence, along with unleash, support, and grow everyone's potential in team to commit 100% energy, focus, and passion in everything we do. Other than that, they also have the vision statement stating the brand is about the pursuit of better, greater way to complete people's living experience. We want to be thought leader and innovator as well as a non-traditional businesses with positive economic, social, and environmental impact. We push boundaries in our visions of creating tomorrow and beyond. Unfortunately, they did not incorporate any core values for their companies. Otherwise, it will be inspiring.
Hi, my name is Rabiaturan Rabinti Haris, metric number 273936. I will continue the presentation on ethical safeguard and virtual value. So the first company that I would like to explain is Sime Darby Property Berhad. Sime Darby Property Berhad has established Codes of Business Conduct (COBC), where it comprises the company working environment, preservation and safeguard of company assets and data, encouraging good communication and ethical behaviour. Besides, Sime Darby Property Berhad has always placed a high priority on staff development and retention. This includes by offering new and updated learning program as well as building an assessment and rewards that motivates employee while also dramatically enhancing engagement. The second one is IOI Properties Group Berhad. IOI is dedicated to delivering a workplace where transparency, trust and respect are ingrained in the company culture, comply to their codes of ethics and business conduct. The company also has developed group human resource policy and practice which are related to proper employment practice and mutual support of both employee and employer's right. Besides, their company's policy ensure a disciplined and fair recruitment process as well as an inclusive and non-discriminatory culture at all levels. They also provide job opportunities to underprivileged groups, and the company adhere to national minimum wage and working hours standard. For safety, health and well-being, the company has evaluated workplace hazard and opportunities regularly. Frequent safety and health measures intended at preventing accident and raising safety and health awareness are also carried out. For the UOA Development Berhad, they also do have the Corporate Code of Conduct. They are dedicated to adhering to all applicable laws, rules and regulation in construction and development, occupational health and safety standard, minimum wage order, labour practice and environmental protection. Besides, they also make every effort to avoid workplace accident and provide a safe and healthy workplace for their workers and contractors. This entails by reviewing process on case-by-case basis, developing improvement proposal, using pest management service, providing a progress report on health, safety and environment, and along with better preparation for an emergency and organized mandate training program to enhance site conditions, work standard and ethics continually. Also, all contractors should be involved in the adoption and enforcement of safety rules and practice. Contractors who commit violations are subject to a punishment process. Next, SP Setia Berhad has rules and regulations to guarantee that the company's business and workers are conducted ethically and with integrity, namely the Codes of Conduct and Business Ethics. SP Setia Berhad also provide a safeguard on internal control. The major aspect of the company's internal control include having various policy, procedure and guidelines in place to support the business development, asset management, financing and main operation, as well as professional support service such as legal, human resource information service, tax, company secretarial, and health, safety and security. So the last one is EcoWorld Development Berhad. EcoWorld has established Code of Conduct and Business Ethics that spell out the professional conduct. The code emphasizes ethical, fair and unbiased practice while outlining behavior that is inappropriate such as bullying, harassment and threatening. EcoWorld Development has also developed mandatory e-assessment for all workers. On the first day of work, all new employees must declare that they have read and comprehend the code. They also recruit qualified and competent members to join the company. Robust recruitment initiative and on-the-job and classroom training are in place. Other than that, the company has developed a set of IT security policy and procedure to safeguard its important business system from the ever-changing cyber threat landscape and challenge. The company proactively monitor and deploys layer of new control. Staff awareness is also raised through briefing and roadshow, particularly in cyber security. In addition, they also have launched the Pink Possible campaigns, a complete framework of employee wellness activities and long-term practice encompassing healthy bodies, mind and lifestyle.
My name is Nur Syami binti Muhammad Amin. My matric number is 264681. So now I'm going to explain about whistleblowing policy. What is whistleblowing? Whistleblowing is done when a person discovers that someone else in the organization has broken the ethical rules either intentionally or unintentionally, and that this may damage the firm, the consumer, or to the public. Fraud, sexual harassment, and corruption are the examples of employee wrongdoing. The individual who has the right to blow the whistle is generally closely associated with the organization. They are usually employees and suppliers or the customer itself. They become a whistleblower when they witness behavior or acts that they suspect are inappropriate, unlawful, or violates the company's code of conduct, and report that suspect as a whistleblowing concern. The choice to blow the whistle may result in the disruption of one's life and the security of the entire organization. Basically, these 5 companies have concern about whistleblowing and have developed their own whistleblowing policy. So the first one is SIMW Property Berhad. They consider all reports of potential misconduct seriously and will investigate them depending on the position, length of their services, and their connection of the person involved in the organization. It takes any misconduct by any of the employees, management, directors, or vendors very seriously. The whistleblowing channels have been developed to assist all stakeholders in raising concern about any misconduct that they may notice or experience without fear. An individual that fight back on someone who has disclosed misconduct may face a proper action and even legal action. A whistleblowing channel have been created in which any individual could make reports within the whistleblowing e-form or email it directly to the senior director or whistleblowing email of SIMW. Besides, they could also call a whistleblowing hotline or send a letter directly to SIMW Berhad. Next, IOI Property Berhad. The policy's purpose is to provide a safe haven for all related to the group, enhance concern about any misconduct within the group, and protect those who report such misconduct. IOI motivates the employees to raise real concern about suspected violations of the group's code of business conduct and ethics, and inform any group misconduct in an application. They must make disclosure by completing a specific whistleblower report form and submitted it through any of the reporting channels. Even though a verbal contact is appropriate, written reports are advised to guarantee clear comprehension and reliability of the concern to avoid distorted facts and details due to remembrance purely based on memory and investigative process. So they could make a report by email it through whistleblowing email or fax to the IOI group or directly call the hotline. Besides, the person who wants to report may direct in person with the respective head of business or head of human resource, and they may also write a letter to IOI Corporation UOA Development Berhad. The firm improved its whistleblowing policy to allow UOA Development Berhad workers, business associates, and members of the public to report instances of unethical behavior inside the organization. The policy also complies with the whistleblower protection that applicable Malaysian laws and regulations. This policy does not apply to petty prejudice regarding an individual's employment terms and condition or other parts of the professional relationship, allegation or bullying or harassment procedures. This concern should be handled following the existing human resource process outlined in the company's code of conduct. Whistleblowers must not undertake any investigative action and have no right to involve in any investigations. The methods outlined in the policy are limited to instances in which a whistleblower may be required to provide confidential information. Whistleblower might use the process described under this policy to file reports, which is they could email to whistleblowing UOA. This is the general reporting channel where reports can be made most privately manner. SP Setia Berhad Group. The group seeks to run the company in an ethical, responsible way which is critical to the group's performance. As a response, the board of directors of SP Setia has created this whistleblowing policy to provide a structured reporting route. The Chief Executive Officer will be responsible for the overall execution of this policy. The Chief Internal Auditor will oversee enforcing the policy. The audit committee will overseeing the policy's implementation. All reports must be delivered in writing, either through hard copy letter or electronic form. Must include comprehensive details of the inappropriate behavior and supporting proof. Hard copy letters and to be sealed envelope labeled as confidential. The report must be submitted directly to the audit committee chairman. It must be sent to SP Setia Berhad corporate headquarters. Can enter the group corporate website and post the information straight for e-form. Whistleblower should submit the letter or e-form to SP Setia Berhad Senior Independent Director. Eco-World Development Group Berhad. It attempts to create and maintain an atmosphere in which whistleblowers can act responsibly without fear of retaliation or punishment. It also tries to handle any threats or intimidations directed at whistleblowers. This is to shield whistleblowers until disclosure is needed by law as part of an inquiry. The whistleblower reporting form is being used to report any misbehavior by the internal parties. The written reports should be sent directly to Menara Millennium. Next, whistleblowers must present sufficient evidence to prevent misleading and malicious reporting. EcoWorld International guarantees that all reports will be examined quickly and confidentially to meet the appropriate steps after such investigations.
Hi, my name is Chong Wai, metric number 2710X6, and now I will continue with the anti-corruption and bribery policy for the stated companies. Under Section 17A of Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC Act 2009, it introduced the corporate liabilities provision regarding the bribery and corruption issues. Thus, appropriate and sufficient procedures are needed for all companies to prevent corruption in any form. First, we're going to have a look on the provision on gift, entertainment, and hospitality. Basically, almost all companies have the same view on the offering and accepting of gift, where it is allowable as long as it is legal and ethical and in a reasonable amount. In some public properties, the company adopt no gift policy. Therefore, the companies are advised to decline such offer if it is practical. They have to disclose verbally and documented such gift accepted in the gift, entertainment, and travel form. For UOA development, such gifts must be declared in details and submitted to the internal auditors and compliance officers. And for EcoWorld, gift accepted must be documented in gift register within 5 days of the receipt. Next is the provision on charitable contributions. For most of the company, enquiries and due diligence and prior approval is needed for the charitable contributions. IOI properties adopt a more strict SOP to be followed, as the recipient's background will be reviewed in prior, and written official request and proof of receipt must be documented upon the receipt. For the provision on political contributions, the companies are more strict on it, as prior approval is a must from the upper management of the companies. In Sime Darby Property and SP Sedia Berhad, such contributions have to be recorded accurately. IOI Properties has a more precise provision on this, as support to political parties is allowable, whereas financial support to individual politicians is prohibited. For the measures taken to strengthen the policy, almost all the companies have the same practices through the regular training for the existing employees and onboarding training or briefing for the new employees during their welcoming orientations. In Sime Darby Property, the company has also prepared emails, reminders, physical poster and bundling to arise the awareness of anti-corruption for all the stakeholders. Whereas in UOA development, every employees have to sign a declaration and documented by the HR departments of the companies. In order to enhance the effectiveness of the policy, regular monitoring on the compliances, and revision and updating on the policy will also be conducted from time to time. For the reporting of bribery and corruptions, each company has the different person to be assessed if the employees has discovered corruptions. If there is a breach of policy in Sime Darby Properties, the companies may choose to file related necessary reports to the relevant authorities. Moreover, in IOI properties, failure in reporting for such suspicious cases of corruptions may also result to disciplinary actions. For UOA development, SP Setia and EcoWorld, the three companies have the same action to be taken for the employees who violates the policy, which is termination of employment. For UOA development, if the business partner did not comply with the policy, termination of contract or even legal actions will be taken to such business partner. In EcoWorld, if there is any business partners who are involved in corruptions, the company may have termination of contract or claim for damages from such business partners.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Khairi bin Abdul Karim, metric number 271438. Now I will continue with corporate social responsibility CSR. CSR in an action of an organization that are targeted toward achieving a social benefit over and above maximizing profit for its shareholder. Okay, there are a few types of CSR, which is philanthropic responsibility, environmental responsibility, human right responsibility, economic responsibility, and legal responsibility. From 5 company, we are choose they are comply with CSR. The first one is Sime Darby Property Berhad. For philanthropic responsibility, they contribute 2,000 million per annum to Yayasan Sime Darby. Second, they train 307 graduate under scheme Latihan Malaysia Slim in final year 2019. They also provide educational classes and other programs for local youth through Inocom Corporation Sdn Bhd in Kulim Kedah. They also support tuberculosis awareness program in Papua New Guinea. For environmental responsibility, they manage carbon and energy by reducing its carbon and energy footprint by 5% in 2023 from its 2018 baseline by install a solar panel, install LED lighting, provisioning GBI certification for motor new HQ, and emission reduction at logistic gene port. They also manage waste and effluents and water. For human rights responsibility, they give a fair employment practice. They give their employee training and development, and they give employee engagement and well-being. For IOI properties grow per head for philanthropic responsibility, they estimate 63.9 million ringgit investing in the upgrading of interchange and enhancements of road in Bandar Puteri Puchong. IOIPG continues to strategically collaborate with a local institution and invest in youth and youth organization. For legal responsibility, 36% women in senior management, exceeding Malaysians aim to have 30% women in decision-making role 2020. And the business ethic, compliance, and anti-corruption and anti-money laundering policy was committed in final year 2019. For economic responsibility, they increase in use system framework in the construction for high-rise building. For environmental responsibility, they reduce 4,191 megawatt-hour for energy consumption. Okay, they also reduce 23,300 kilogram of food waste segregated and diverted from landfill in a food waste pilot project. And lastly, IOI Properties, a landscape department, turns garden waste into mulch to improve soil condition in its landscaping work. For UOA Development Berhad, for philanthropic responsibility, they give intensive reading program for children in Sentul and Kerinci. Second, sponsor excellent English camp by ADRF Malaysia. Third, organize campaign Kembali ke Sekolah. And lastly, celebrate Hari Raya Festival with 100 single mother and their children. For legal responsibility, they comply with all regulatory requirements pertaining to the health and safety, marketing, sales, and privacy (PDA). Second, align itself with international recognized standards, including the ISO. And third, obtain with building quality assessment request standard assessment system in Singapore. For economic responsibility, they offer internship to qualified graduate, spurring the development or related e-business related business such as gaming and fintech, and adding value to project by linking their development to LRT, KTM, MRT railway station. And lastly, environmental responsibility, they equip with a certain glass while using DGU. They also equip energy management system, and lastly use heat recovery well to reduce the air conditioning usage by bringing lower temperature air. As Peserta Berhad, for legal responsibility, they follow occupational health and management, and they also improve its quality and service quality by maintaining the accreditation of ISO 9001 quality management system. For economic responsibility, City Eco Taiping consists of 56 units of shop office with colorful glass facade, spacious floor plan, and height ceiling. For environmental responsibility, they allocate more than 10% green areas, recorded up to 82 species of birds visiting the park and lake in some of eco-series project, planted 2,000 food and nectar plant, and propagated 1,000 plant for butterflies living in some of eco-series, and lastly recorded up 27 species of fish in some of eco-series project. Last, for Eco Development Group Berhad, for philanthropic responsibility, they provide financial assistance to underprivileged students. They also spend 252,000 on replacing school furniture. They also collaborate with Suka Society to develop teaching tool, and also they contribute 125,000 to Suka Society. For legal responsibility, they comply with MCCG, MMLR, and Company Act 2070. They also recognition on the quality assessment system in construction. And for human rights responsibility, they organize wellness program like bicycle lane, pedestrian walkway, and herbs garden for their residents, community, and the public.
Hi, my name is Nur Shahira Ashikin. My matrix number is 265040. Today, I will be presenting about the board of directors for these 5 chosen companies. As you all know, a board of directors of a company is based on the Malaysian Code on Corporate Governance, which also known as MCCG. There are 4 main listing requirements of it, which are composition, diversity, independence, and CEO duality. For the composition, it requires a minimum of 2 directors or 1/3 of the board, whichever is higher, to be independent directors. These directors are usually hired based on their expertise, knowledge, and experience to achieve the company's goal. And for the diversity, the board must be diverse in skill, experience, age, cultural background, and gender. It also needs to be at least 30% of women directors in the board. For the independent, the tenure of this independent director is limited to cumulative term of 9 years. MCCG also does not encourage the board to retain its independent directors for more than 12 years for large companies. The next one is CEO duality. For CEO duality, it requires different individuals to hold the position of chairman and CEO. This is because the CEO will be implement the policies, strategies, and decisions adopted by the boards. So for the composition requirement for EcoWorld, as you can see, the board now comprises 12 directors, of which 5 of them are independent directors. From a practical point of view, practice 4.1 is not a practice that may be easily implemented within a short time of period. And EcoWorld also has less than 30% women directors in their board. Moving on to the next one, which is IOI properties. Board composition complies with the MCCG that requires of minimum of 2 directors or 1/3 of the board, whichever is higher, to be independent directors. Their board has the majority presence of non-executive directors, of whom 4 of them are independent non-executive directors with distinguished records and credentials to ensure that there is independence of judgment and balance of power, and also authority on their board. IOI Properties Board views gender and cultural diversity among board members as important consideration where reviewing its composition. Currently, women make up 14% of the full board. However, it still does not comply with the MCCG, where at least 30% of women directors have to be on the board. So the next one is for Samdabi Plantation. Presently, the board comprises 6 independent directors out of 11 members, and the company also has 2 or 18 women directors in their board. Nevertheless, the board is highly committed in achieving and sustaining high standards of corporate governance and endeavors to comply with the practice to achieve diversity in their boardroom. This is clearly specified in their board composition policy, which states that the board will maintain at least 2 women directors on the board and will actively work towards having a minimum of 30% women as members in the board by 2020. Throughout year 2019, the board of SP Setil comprised of 60% independent non-executive directors in the board. The board also maintained its women representation of 30% of the board composition throughout the year of 2019. The next one is for UOA Group. Half of the board are independent directors, and it only has 1 female director, which only equals to 20%. However, the board will continue to search for suitable female candidates to fill the position to make sure it complies with MCCG, where the board must have at least 30 women directors. So for the independents, as you can see in the slide, none of the independent directors in Incoworld and Samdebi Plantation has served for more than 9 years in terms of independence, while for IOI Properties, 25% of the independent non-executive directors have done at least 4 years in the company, and 75% serve up to 5 to 8 years. Therefore, only 60% of the directors in SP Setia Berhad have served on the board for more than 5 years, and 40% below. United Overseas Australia Limited Holding also has set up a policy where the director shall retire from office once every 3 years and be eligible for re-election. So moving on to the next requirement, which is diversity. As you can see, all 5 companies' board of directors have followed the MCCG requirement where mentioned in practice 4.4 that any appointment of board and senior management are based on objective criteria, merit, and with due regard for diversity in skill, experience, age, cultural background, and also gender. And for CEO duality requirement, all companies' chairmen and CEOs are held by a different individuals to ensure the efficiency and effectiveness in handling the companies. This principle is also advantageous to the board's successful operation and provides a vital check and balance system. And it also creates segregation of duty within a company.
My name is Shakaya, matching number 270A2. So now I will explain the stakeholder role to maintain the sustainability for the 5 companies. The first company will be Setabi Property Berhad. For shareholder, company long-term performance is largely dependent on the governance demonstrated by participation in a variety of industry and shareholder forums. In terms of society, with the program held by Setabi in upskilling and reskilling, the society has become more aware and wiser. For government regulation, the integrity of the company is became protected as there are always an inspection by the regulator. For employees, they are responsible for the company long-term viability depending on their tasks and capacity to do that. For IOI Property Group Berhad, shareholder involvement is an essential aspect of IOI property market growth strategy in order to create integrated statement, position management, and various requirement management of the company. For customer, the committee focused on the constructive feedback from customer to continue improve the delivery of exceptional product quality and services. For the government regulation, the quality of the targeted material issue is tracked, checked, and benchmarked against multiple market principles and requirements via a scope statement that includes GRI's guidelines and market core value. For UOA development Berhad, the federal have incorporated the management framework into the company. Besides, to maintain the sustainability, employees also need to be fair and not discriminatory toward their colleagues. In terms of society, individuals from many different society and communities have developed measures to way contact with the company. Therefore, UOA will continue to participate in sustainable development programs to guarantee long-term sustainability and business excellence. Next, SP Setia Berhad. SP Setia will communicate with its customers via variety of platforms to better understand their issue and area of interest. SP Setia have established a safe and conducive working environment for their employees to ensure the company's long-term viability. Suppliers also play a vital role in allowing SP Setia to serve customers by delivering the goods and services that the company demands. Therefore, media help SP Setia by marketing their product on various platforms, which allow clients to engage with the company, raising awareness of the brand and increase the sales. Our last company will be Eco Development Group Berhad. Eco will ensure that employees have been enjoying the benefits provided by them, such as job security, remuneration, career development, and training opportunities, as well as the labor and human rights. Apart from that, Eco will always improve their product and services to make sure the safety of product and a better customer experience can be delivering to their customer. Besides, suppliers also play an important role on preparing a good quality and affordable price material for Eco to maintain their business sustainability. Lastly, media have helped to increase the company reputation by promoting the advocating green consumerism and lifestyle concept that established by Eco on their property project.
Greetings to Professor Dr. Amy Azhar and hello everyone. I'm Nageshwari, Parmasivan Matrix number 264741. So I'm going to finish off this video by concluding our report. In the business world, corporate governance relates to the system of rules, policies, and processes that governs the corporations. The corporate governance structure determines the distribution of rights and responsibilities as well as the standards and policies for making good decisions among the participants in the business. All the property and development companies that have been analyzed in this report are listed in the Bursa Malaysia, and those companies are known to be rapidly grown and evolved over the past years. The anti-bribery policies and whistleblowing policies are commonly implemented among the chosen companies. It is crucial to protect the customers and the company by overcoming the misconducts or fraudulent acts to maintain the reputation of the firm. Besides, it is appropriate for a firm to impose effective procedures to prevent briberies or corruptions. The corporate culture for each company are also almost the same, and they are very much concerned about their customer satisfaction, achieving their financial goals, and so on. In terms of ethical safeguards and virtues of values, the eco-world development is comparatively having a higher standard of policies where the company is emerging with the technology and internet to mandate the reinforcement of the code of business ethics and conducts and to build a set of IT security policies. On the other hand, the CSR is a firm's continuous commitment that serves to economic development while improving the quality of life of its employees and the society. In the year 2019, the Eco World Development and UOA Development had performed very well by achieving the CSR pyramid responsibilities to the highest level. Next, MCCG is an important tool for companies as it reflects the international principles and globally recognized standards that are beyond the minimum requirements that set by the statutes, regulations, or prescribed by Bursa Malaysia. In addition, the CARE approach helps the companies to determine the thought processes involved in practicing good corporate governance clearly by providing the fair and meaningful description. Therefore, the stakeholders will have an effective engagement with the firm. In gross, the IOI properties complied the most to the MCCG in terms of board of directors and gender diversification. The corporate sustainability is the ability of businesses to influence environmental, social, and economic growth positively by their governance policies and market presence. Thus, a good governance promotes sustainability and encourages the companies to achieve their goals. So, in a nutshell, all the chosen companies have typically implemented the current standards of governance structures and ethical principles, yet to highlight a better performing company by analyzing among these 5 companies is the IOI Properties Group Berhad, because it has adhered to most of the standards of governances and ethical principles, as it was from the top 100 index of FTSE Bursa Malaysia. The performance of this company is comparatively high and having a good practice in all the aspects. Lastly, a strong foundation in corporate governance principles, dedicated adherence to the code of ethics will result in the firm's ability to overcome any uncertainty and long-term success. That's all from us. Thank you. Thank you for watching.